Hello again, Gills fans. Welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV for another edition. It is Thursday, which means match preview night as I look ahead to Saturday's Sky Bet League One fixture against Lincoln City. It is just me again this evening. Unfortunately, no Boz once again for one reason or another. But you will have Glenn, who features on the Matchday Live videos. He is 80s Hog on Twitter. He is offering us his thoughts later in the piece regarding Saturday's game. Unfortunately, he's unable to attend at the moment after a recent operation, so we wish Glenn well. But yeah, later in the video, he'll be offering us his thoughts ahead of Saturday's fixture. But we did have a game on Tuesday evening, somewhat of the dead rubber, but it was the final group game of the Leasings.com trophy, and we ran out very impressive 2-0 winners over a very youthful, technically very good Tottenham Hotspur side. But yeah, all in all, a much changed 11 were very impressive. I think aside from the first 10 minutes of each half, where Spurs had plenty of the ball and threatened to maybe carve us open a couple of times, we stuck to our game plan immaculately well. I think most of the game was played in front of us, which was a good sign. And I don't recall Joe Walsh having to make a proper save of note, which is always promising. It was good to see Bradley Garmston back in the side, showing us what he can offer at left back, especially with Tom O'Connor currently unavailable. He's on England. No, he's not. He's on Ireland under 21 duty at the moment. So all the best to Tom. He won't be available for Saturday's fixture or next week's FA Cup replay. So yeah, like I say, good to see Garms back out there, and I thought he had a very decent game. Connor Ogilvie, captain for the evening, which I think was well deserved. It's been, aside from probably one game, which was Rotherham at home, he's been absolutely spot on this season since getting back in the side at centre half, alongside Max Amar for the majority. But he was alongside young Jack Tucker Tuesday evening, and the young lad put in another really good show. Scored the clincher late on in the second half, and was a very welcome early birthday present for Jack. So hope he enjoyed his day yesterday. Turned 20. Wish I could remember that far back. But yeah, like I say, it was a much changed 11. Plenty of youngsters in the side. We had Joe Walsh in goal. Like I say, Jack Tucker started at centre back. Henry Woods back on his back at the club after his loan spell from Concord Rangers was very good in the middle of the park alongside Usinu Cisse, who set up the first goal. Alex Jakubiak back amongst the goals, which was a good sign. Said on the Matchday Live, I thought the only one that wasn't quite at it, by no means was he awful, and that was Mikael and Jolly. Just didn't really get enough of the ball in decent areas, unfortunately. But yeah, all in all, a very good performance. Comfortably our best in that competition. Nice to sign off with a win. And that was all made possible by one person who was very, very good on the night. Comfortably man of the match in my eyes, and that is this player. Mark Marshall, absolutely superb from first minute to last on Tuesday evening. Yes, people will probably say, oh, it's only Tottenham's kids and he's got to start doing it against proper sides in League One, and that's fair enough, totally understand that point, but you can only play against and beat what's in front of you, like I said on the Matchday Live, and I thought he was absolutely superb. He looked like he'd got back to basics. We've said plenty of times, myself, Stocky and Boz on the Matchday Lives, that he seemed to have this almost constant thing where he wants to do step overs and beat his man 2 or 3 times throughout the season so far when he has got on the pitch. But it seemed whether he was instructed from the management and coaching staff whether to just get to the byline or whether that was something he decided for himself. But he had the young left back on toast all evening, whether it was cutting inside onto his left foot or getting on his right foot on the outside. Delivered plenty of good balls into the box. I think he switched sides as well. I think there was one ball from the left midway through the first period just after we'd scored. Dug out a really good cross. Jack Tucker's header was going in, it was cleared off the line. And of course it was Marshall that set up the clinching second goal for Jack Tucker in the second half, again with one drop of the shoulder, whipped a ball into a dangerous area and Tucker stooped to head home at the far post. Probably deserved the goal himself, Marshy, but he was unlucky. One curling effort towards the end that the young Tottenham keeper did well to shovel around the post. But yeah, looking at his stats on an app that I use, 89% pass completion on Tuesday, 100% dribble completion, 1 shot on target, 1 assist. The Mark Marshall that we thought we'd sign back in the summer, and I know there's been mitigating circumstances. He's had to deal with his father passing away. I know he had to go back to the Caribbean early on in the campaign to bury his father, and obviously that's going to have an effect on him, and he missed pre-season, so he's probably been playing catch-up. But fingers crossed that Mark Marshall can kick on from here And we get to see the player that has terrorised us on plenty of occasions over the years, and fingers crossed he can start terrorising League One fullbacks on our behalf moving forward. But yeah, all in all, a really good win, a really good team performance, and a really good individual performance from Mark Marshall. Obviously, the big thing coming up is Lincoln City at the weekend. But first, a little bit of news. Congratulations to Ben Pringle. He was unavailable for Tuesday's game, was given the night off because his wife had given birth to their first child early hours of that morning. So congratulations to Ben. Hope that mummy and child are doing very well. And the only other bit of news this week is the Sunderland FA Cup first round replay has been now confirmed for 7:45 p.m. next Tuesday, the 19th of November. Should be a really good game. But yeah, as I say, big game coming up in League One, which we don't seem to have played in for a little while, what with the FA Cup game last weekend and then this EFL Trophy game in the week. But we do host Michael Appleton's Lincoln City. And looking at the comparative league form of the two sides, we are in better nick than them. In terms of last 6 overall in League One, we have, what I seem to say all the time, won 2, drawn 2 and lost 2. So we've taken 8 points from the last 18 available. Lincoln, solitary win, 2 draws, 3 defeats. So only 5 points from the last 6 games. And in terms of home and away, Gills have won 3, drawn none and lost 3 of their last 6 at home. Have lost the last 2, so we need to put that right. So 9 points from 18, 50% strike rate. Lincoln are just 2 points on the road from their last 6, 2 draws, 4 defeats. They've only scored 4 goals in their last 6 League One outings, so hardly prolific at the moment, which is a little bit surprising considering the talent in their squad. Their only away League One win came on their first away day of the season, and that was at Rotherham on the 10th of August. So a good opportunity for the Gills. We've only lost 1 of our last 5 in all competitions with 2 wins, which is not awful at all. And yeah, just looking at that stat, like I said about Lincoln, only scored 4 goals in their last 6 games in this division. Surprising when they've got the likes of Tyler Walker at their disposal, who's got 7 in 16 in the league, 9 in all competitions. He's comfortably their top scorer. Michael Bostwick, said plenty of times, centre half I really rate at this level. Getting on a bit now, but still a really good player. Ben Coker, I know, was back from injury in the week. Highly rated when he was at Southend until he picked up a really serious injury. So whether he features remains to be seen. But it's good to see him back out on the pitch because you don't like to see anyone injured. Jack Payne, we were rumoured to have had a look at him in the summer. Nothing materialised, went to Lincoln. John Akinday's been a lower league goal scorer for years now. Yeah, they've got a decent squad, but it's just obviously, you can only imagine that Danny and Nicky Cowley leaving for Huddersfield a month or 2 ago was obviously going to have a massive effect on him. He's been there for a long time and had loads of success, and it's going to take a while for Appleton to get his own stamp on things, and they're definitely what I'd call a club in transition at the moment, and it's up to us to try and take advantage. But it will be a tough game, you know that. They played a certain way under the Cowleys, and I think maybe Michael Appleton's trying to change that, so that's another factor to bear in mind. But we have pretty much a full squad to choose from. It's only Matty Willock that's not available. Steve Evans has said he's probably a week away still. He's effectively doing his own pre-season at the moment because he has only played 45 minutes of competitive football, which was against Bolton at the back end of August before picking up this knee injury. He missed the back end of pre-season proper due to a virus. So it's been very stop-start, well, more stop than start, unfortunately, for Matty Willett, but I'm sure he's chomping at the bit, to coin a phrase of an ex-manager, and he's desperate to get out on the pitch and start having an influence on games. In terms of our team, obviously it'll be completely different to Tuesday night. I would stick with a 4-2-3-1 formation /4-4-2. No, 4-2-3-1 /4-3-3, sorry. I'd go Jack Bonham in goal, Barry Fuller, Max Amar, Connor Ogilvie and Bradley Garmston as my back 4. Thought Bradley Garmston was very good Tuesday night. Again, you can say it's only against Tottenham's kids, but how well do you know he's going to do in a league game if you don't give him a chance? He's naturally left-footed. I wouldn't like Barry to play over there if he's available to play right back. And in terms of ability, I don't think there's a great deal between Garmston and Lee Hodson at the moment. So that would be my back 4. Maybe a slightly controversial one in the middle of the park. I'll drop Alfie Jones this week. I think he's just dropped off a little bit in the last few games. So I would go Stuart O'Keefe next to Mark Byrne protecting our defence. Ollie Lee in the 10. Mark Marshall deserves to stay in the side for me after Tuesday's performance. He was absolutely spot on. So I'd have him from the right. Alex Jakubiak, who scored, from the left. Brandon Hanlon through the middle. My bench would be Joe Walsh, Jack Tucker, Alfie Jones, Ben Pringle, Regan Charles Cook, Mikael and Jolly, and Mikael Mandron. Right, score prediction before I let you all go. Will still be a tough game. I know they're just below us on goal difference, I think, at the moment, after starting the season really well. Their form's fallen off the edge of a cliff, unfortunately, for their fans, but it won't be easy. They don't score loads. We don't score loads. But I was impressed with us Tuesday night. Obviously very happy with the draw up at Sunderland against them in the Cup last week. A Sunderland side that's full of quality regardless of their current form and situation. So it's been a really positive week so far. And based on that, I am going to say final score, Gillingham 2, Lincoln City 1. And my goal scorers will be Brandon Hanlon and Alex Jakubiak. But yeah, obviously before I go, like I said and promised you at the beginning, we've got the thoughts of Glenn, who's unfortunately not going to be there Saturday. So you can all have a listen to him now.
Hello Gills fans, I've been asked to give my thoughts on the home game to Lincoln City on Saturday, as I can't be there physically due to medical reasons. It's going to be a very interesting game, I think. They're just under us in the table, coming off the back of a decent 1-1 draw at Ipswich in the Cup, like ourselves going away to decent opposition and forcing replays. One thing I will say is that they've lost half of their matches this season. But they do have in Tyler Walker, a dangerous striker who scored 8 goals on loan from Nottingham Forest. So all in all, it should be a tight affair. I wasn't that enamoured, as many of you wouldn't have been, with the home performance to Rotherham. The 3-0 defeat was pretty sobering, but the improved cup performance has sort of rekindled some confidence in the side. A decent win against Tottenham in what, to be honest, was a meaningless match, but it was clear that we went out and we wanted to win that game with some outstanding performances, Mark Marshall being the standout. Now, it's been said, and I've heard that he was outstanding providing crosses. The bottom line for me, of course, is that we actually don't have anyone who can stick those opportunities away at the moment. We're still looking for a striker that can poach, get in there and poke these opportunities away. And we have suffered from a lack of finishing thus far this season. And looking at Gillingham and having supported them for many years, we are consistently inconsistent. And if we look at the last home defeat, and if we look at the last 6 fixtures in the league, that's 2 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats. And to be honest, I can't really pick what will happen on Saturday. Not even sure what type of side that will be picked. I assume Marshall has put himself right in the reckoning for this. So it could be an interesting fixture. And looking, if you put these matches in batches of 3, so we started both batches with a loss. So if we count Rotherham as a loss, we should be looking at a win and a draw. Not exact science, but at the moment I really couldn't pick what's going to happen. Tucker had a great game apparently against Tottenham. It's good to see Barry Fuller back. So it's hard to pick, but I really think Evans has got his work cut out at the moment. Without that one piece of quality up front, I think we will struggle. Regardless of how well we play or what the build-up play is like, I think anyone who's been home and away this season can see that. We got away with one at Accrington, and we did. Personally, I don't think we played particularly well. We defended okay. Pompey, we were up against it. Both of those games have got results. And when we have played well and taken leads, we've let them slip. So again, I'll say it, we are consistently inconsistent. So I'm going to go for a Gills win. It's going to be tight, I reckon 2-1. So I wish everyone who goes to the game a great time, and let's hope that we get a result. Thank you very much.
Cheers for that, buddy. Thank you very much. Have to be careful. Looks like you're trying to nick my job hosting this channel. Form guides, players to pick out, predictions. Glenn knows what he's doing. He's gone for the same score as me, I think. So it'll be an interesting game to see how it pans out and see what does happen come 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Cheers, Glenn, for your thoughts, mate. Swift recovery. Be great to see you back at the Priestfield sooner rather than later. That's enough from me. We will be back Saturday, myself and Boz, for Matchday Live. I think then myself and Stocky will be at the game Tuesday night for the FA Cup replay. Obviously, in between time, there'll be a Monday review, hopefully talking about 3 points. But I'll let you go for now, Gills fans. As always, thanks for watching and listening. You know where we are on all the social media platforms. And until next time, up the Gills.